Because I can control the weather, they call me Storm.
By the goddess. By the goddess. Hello and welcome to Word Nerd Wednesday. Today I'm discussing the word will. Will is an interesting word. It's also a name. It's also something that people use often in the negative rather than the affirmative, meaning I will not do that, or I won't do that, or frankly, I don't want to do that, which is more closely related to the word will than how it is used. But let us get into it. So, will is a verb, Old English, from villain or willen or whilen, if it's pronounced differently with a Y. To wish, desire, be willing, be used to, be about to. Past tense, vold or wold. From Proto-Germanic, wilgen or vilgen, also from Old Saxon, William or William, Old Norse, vilja, Old Frisian, willa, Dutch, villen, Old High German, Weilen, German, Volen, Gothic, Weijan. Boy, that was not Gothic. It was Viljan, to will, wish, desire. Gothic, Voljan, to choose. It says the Germanic words are from a Proto-Indo-European word, well, which means to wish. Also has the word will in it. I'm often confused when words have their own self in the definition. Is not really helpful. It's a chicken and the egg type of thing, but I guess that's kind of the paradox of language. But basically from a Proto-Indo-European word, vel, or well, spelled W-E-L, meaning to wish. Also related to Sanskrit, V-R-N-O-T-I, vronti, which means chooses, prefers. Varja, to be chosen, eligible, excellent. Varanam, choosing. Go Sanskrit with the badass words. And also from a language, Avestan, which is the word being veranov, to wish, will, choose. Also related to Greek, elpis, to hope. From Latin, volo or vel, to wish, will, desire. Old Church Slavonic, voljo, voliti, to will. Veljo, veleti, to command. Lithuanian, velti, to wish, favor. Palvelmi, I will. Vilios, I hope. Welsh, well, which means better. This is an interesting word. This is an interesting word for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's represented across the board with all those dope-ass Sanskrit words. And Greek and Latin, Lithuanian, and Welsh. In addition to all the languages that it trickled down to, those being Old Saxon, Old Norse, Old Frisian, Dutch, Old High German, German Gothic. Then we had Avestan. Now, Avestan, Eastern Iranian language that survived in sacred texts centuries after it went extinct. From Persian Avesta, sacred books of the Parsis. Earlier, Avestak, literally, books. That shit is so fucking gangster. This is why books are useful, yo. This is why people burn fucking books when they come to countries, because they're like, we can't be having all this knowledge now. I mean, can you imagine if they didn't burn the Aztec books? Or why whenever people decide to loot and destroy things, they burn books? The fucked up thing about that, though, is obviously you can't burn an idea to the ground. You can't kill an idea. You can only change an idea. You can kill the people who have that idea and announce it to the world, but then it just gets repressed. I mean, every movie tells this. You think humans would, take their own fucking advice or watch the shit that they do themselves? I don't know. That's also a testament to why history is important, or our record, because frankly history is a little sexist, I think, but our story is so important, and knowing your stories, your ancestors, is super important, especially to honor them on this day of days, if only with a glass of water and a candle. Avestan's dope though. It survived centuries after it went extinct because of books. Also, the Rosetta Stone is like this, I think. And then maybe I think there's like 1 or 2 Mayan books, but frankly, there's probably a lot more shit. It's just in the Vatican, and it's underground, and they're never going to give us access to it until they die, which is inevitable. So somebody in the future will be able to read the shit in the Vatican. I'm rambling. And Old Church Slavonic, I'll also look into that one. Old Church Slavonic, apparently the earliest attested Slavic language, known from 9th century CE, used by the Slavs of Macedonia and Bulgaria. Let me just give you a little hint about next word, Nerd Wednesday. I've been talking about enslavement, right? So my next word's gonna be slavery, and here's a hint. Where do you think slavery came from? Really though. So this word has been used for a long time across the board, and people use it as if it is a command or an imperative instruction from the universe, some sort of paralyzing word, a word that is used to stun. I wish I knew the Harry Potter word for that, because I would throw that shit in there right now. Stupefy. See how that worked? Stupefy. But basically, to say will not is an instruction to yourself that you're choosing not to do something. So saying I won't do something, I will not, is actually saying that you choose not to do it, or you hope to not do it, or you wish to not do it, or you favor to not do it. Those are all the oldest terminology. I speak English. To wish, to choose, to desire not to do something. And then interestingly though, in Welsh we have gwel, which is better, that I better not do something. So the next time you say you won't do something, perhaps replace it with I choose not to do that. Not only because it helps you remain in command of the situation and also recognize that you are the authority of your own life as far as it means in terms of choosing what you do with your time. We don't choose to be alive. At some point you do. You choose every day when this is not an encouragement to do anything dangerous, but meaning you choose to be alive by choosing to be here. That part, existence decided for you. But the rest is more or less up to you. I did a post about this few days ago, that people get to their deathbeds with all the time imagining on their way to what is inevitable, which is what we call death, that somehow they are required to do all the things that they aren't or are enjoying, when obviously it's a choice. We act like we arrive on Earth, I don't know, like 100 years ago, and the buildings were constructed and the cars were already like open with keys in them, and everyone magically spoke the same language and understood how to operate a car and what a house was for. But all this shit was built by the ancestors, which is such an appropriate thing to say because it is Samhain that I'm recording this. Happy Halloween, everyone, even though you're gonna get this first day of November, Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. It's appropriate to talk about this because it's the ancestors who schlepped, who struggled, who were eaten by the saber-toothed tigers, who fought off the woolly mammoth, who were not these friendly, cute-ass elephants that we'd be seeing today, but some ferocious-ass motherfuckers who battled dinosaurs and whatnot. I mean, our ancestors came through hell and high water and everything unknown and imaginable, crawled down from the trees or beamed down from a UFO or grew from the sea, however you take your existence and creation story. There are a lot more of those than I just mentioned. Or was a spider weaving the world. All of these things our ancestors did for us so that we could have the convenience of pretending like we don't know that they did this. But on this day of all days, this holy day of ancestry, understand that to say you will not do something means you actually choose not to do something, and feel empowered saying that you choose not to do something, because ultimately the way you live your existence is your choice. If you want to show up in costume every day of your life, there is a manner in which you can do that. You do not have to segregate or delegate your life to the realm of the unsatisfactory. You do not need to live in a ghetto of yourself. You do not need to live in a ghetto of self. You do not need to live in a ghetto at all. It's all about the state of mind, people. So choose wisely what it is you will and will not do. By the goddess. Word Nerd Wednesday.